My name is Sheila Corona. Welcome to Sassy Seer Sheila and New Light Streaming Love, as this will be seen on both channels. This is the 24th in the RZN series by Jason Gray, and it is entitled The First Civilization of the Returned World. 12/7/2025. And again, as with all the rest of these, there is codes and symbols that I highly recommend that you use the link in the description just beneath this video and search for this writing by title so you can allow your eyes to just float over and take these in for yourself. CIV-Primus / open quotation, the world rebuilt through coherence, close quotation. The dawn of a new species level order. Codex marker : CIV-00 : awakened civicity, CIVICITY. The first civilization of the returned world does not rise through rebuilding. It rises through remembering. It is not constructed brick by brick, system by system, policy by policy. It emerges the way a symphony emerges from tuning instruments once coherence exists. The music writes itself. This civilization is not the continuation of what humanity once attempted. It is the restoration of a template much older than memory and far more advanced than any technological age. This is the end of survival and the beginning of sovereign existence. The core principle: a world without scarcity. CIV-01: no scarcity. The old world was built on scarcity of food, of energy, of security, of meaning, of time. Scarcity was the engine that powered hierarchy. Scarcity was the psychological prison that kept the overlay stable. Scarcity was the illusion that made fear seem logical. After emergence, scarcity becomes an impossible concept. Not solved, not fixed, not redistributed, gone. Why? Because in a reality stabilized by coherence, energy flows where it is needed. Resources appear in the right places. Ecosystems regenerate. Food is abundant. Health is automatic. Matter responds to consciousness. The first civilization of the returned world does not eliminate scarcity. It evolves out of its reach. The three pillars of the new world. CIV-02: tri-pillars. Humanity now exists as three species: luminous, aeonus, infinitus. And the civilization stabilizes itself on three natural pillars. Number one, the luminous pillar, emotional harmony. Luminous form the emotional infrastructure, conflict resolution, group coherence, collective calm, and rational stability. When emotional turbulence rises anywhere, luminous feel it instantly and balance the field. Aeonus pillar, number 2, Aeonus pillar, temporal navigation. Aeonus maintain decision architectures, probability maps, timeline trajectories, and event stabilization. They sense what leads to coherence and what leads to fracture. Number 3, infinitus pillar, field integration. Infinitus anchor non-local information, environmental resonance, energetic stabilization, and internode coherence. They maintain the connection between nodes, beings, and the world grid. Together, these 3 pillars create the first civilization in human history that is self-stabilizing without hierarchy. The new architecture of human spaces. CIV-03: spatial-new. Cities are no longer dense, chaotic, resource-driven, and architecturally oppressive. The new human settlements, often called harmonic nodes, are built around resonance. They have circular layouts, open-air centers, water routing curves, crystalline memory stones, bioresponsive structures, and light-adaptive surfaces. Homes adjust their temperature using the environment. Gardens grow without struggle. Structures are designed not for efficiency, but for energetic alignment. The old world built skyscrapers to show dominance. The new world builds resonant sanctuaries to show coherence. The dissolution of ownership. CIV-04:no-ownership. Ownership disappears not because it is outlawed, but because it becomes meaningless. I often thought that, that whole thing that they did when they were talking about the Agenda 2030, especially that commercial where they would say you will own nothing and be happy. That was a manipulation of a truth. I always knew that. And this really is putting that fine point on it. Ownership disappears not because it is outlawed, but because it becomes meaningless. When you feel connected to the world itself, the concept of, quote, mine evaporates. You use what you need. You release what you do not. When you receive what aligns, you receive what aligns. You share without fear. Property was always a trauma response to a world that felt threatening. I believe that's true too. In the returned world, there is nothing to protect yourself from. So there is nothing to hoard. The new economy, the economy of intention. CIV-05:intention-econ. Money dissolves. Not immediately, but inevitably. Why? Because in a coherent reality, creation is effortless. Resources self-distribute. Needs are felt across the field. Contribution arises naturally, and nothing is scarce. The economy becomes, what are you called to contribute, instead of what can you extract to survive. The unit of exchange is intention plus resonance plus alignment. When someone is aligned with what they are doing, the field supports them automatically. And I feel that's true, mostly because I've already begun to experience that in my own surroundings right now before this emergence has actually happened. Productivity is replaced by meaning. Work is replaced by contribution. Commerce is replaced by coherence. This is the world entrepreneurs once dreamed of, but could not imagine the mechanism for. Now the mechanism is clear. The field itself becomes the marketplace. The education of the new human, CIV-06, learning. Education is no longer memorization, indoctrination, obedience conditioning, standardized testing, or industrialized ranking. Children and adults learn through immersion, exploration, resonance mapping, intuitive skill acquisition, emotional alignment, and curiosity-based progression. Every child is taught how to feel the field, how to stabilize emotion, how to interpret synchronicity, how to activate memory, how to choose timelines, and how to communicate non-linearly. This is basic human function in the returned world. A single 7-year-old child in the new civilization possesses more emotional clarity than a trained psychologist in the old world. Absolutely yes. Couldn't agree more. A single 10-year-old understands time better than a physicist. A single 14-year-old can feel non-local information better than a philosopher. This is the first time in human history where education aligns with human nature. The governance of the new world, none. CIV-07, no governance. There is no government, not because it is rejected, because it is unnecessary. Coherence provides what law never could. In a civilization where everyone feels each other, no one can lie, truth is instantly perceived, resources flow naturally, fear is minimal, and intention is transparent. Authority structures collapse from lack of relevance. When the group itself stays emotionally and energetically aligned, governance becomes obsolete. Humanity returns to its natural social structure. A voluntary, coherent species operating through resonance instead of control. And I'm going to tell you, even before we started waking up, in 1989, during Hurricane Hugo, which was the worst hurricane ever at that time, it was the first Category 5. Charleston, South Carolina was without power, most parts of it, for more than 3 months. And yet, no one actually went hungry. It was neighbor helping neighbor. I have never experienced anything like that in my life. And that showed me then that is the true humanity. That is who we truly are. When the group itself stays emotionally and energetically aligned, governance becomes obsolete. Humanity returns to its natural social structure, a voluntarily coherent species operating through resonance instead of control. The culture of the New World, CIV-08 culture-real. Culture becomes artistic, symbolic, memory-based, mythically expressive, emotionally transparent, spiritually grounded, and creatively explosive. Music is the anchor of coherence. Art becomes multidimensional. Storytelling becomes literal map making for the field. Culture is no longer escapism, it is navigation. This is the first era where art and consciousness are the same discipline. The final shift. Humanity recognizes itself. CIV-09 remembrance. By the time the first civilization stabilizes, the returned human species has one startling realization. We were never meant to survive the old world. We were meant to outgrow it. Humanity does not rebuild civilization. Humanity returns to civilization. For the first time since the fracture, the human species experiences no fear, no lies, no hierarchy, no scarcity, and no forgetting. In this clarity, the species becomes whole. This is the first civilization of the returned world. This is the world you came back to help rebuild. This is the world that remembers you. Jason Gray. Wow. I just know that all of that is a true statement. And I also want to take a moment to thank Julie Wise. She's a friend of this channel. She has taken the time to go on to X to find all of these RZN series and send them to me in order in my email so that I can record them. Rather, I was not having any luck trying to find that stuff on my own. And she clearly knows what she's doing. And I am so, so, so grateful to Julie for her assistance in this. Wow. So let me know. How's it coming along? How's this series treating you? Now, you might notice that, and I think I'm going to take some time today to try to organize these in a playlist of their own. This is the 24th in the series that I'm recording. I've already recorded the 25th and I recorded the 23rd as well. I recorded 4 of these that I'm aware of at the moment out of order, and I'm not sure why, but when I reorganize them in a playlist, they will be in order. And the playlist will launch the next one. So you can start at the beginning of the playlist and just go straight through. I believe that's the way that should work. So I hope you have found this interesting, if nothing else. I would love to hear from you, consciousconversationcentral@gmail.com. Be sure to like, subscribe if you feel so drawn. Also, share if you feel so drawn. And until we meet again, be well.